So I took steroids for like 6 months.
Hmm.
My weight went from 64 to 91 in 1
Oh.
month. There is no performance-based appraisals in
Government.
corporate.
Yeah.
It is tenure-based promotion.
Hmm.
Now you have no incentive to do a great job.
Hmm.
Okay, Britishers wanted copies
Yeah.
of people, right? They had for their purpose they did a great job in operations. They built a system which gave them what they wanted.
Yeah.
Now we have to build a system which should give us what we want.
Hmm.
When I got into Microsoft, nobody believed I could get in there. Very sad about one thing. The organization which gave me 10 years of work, for 6 months I did not do my duty properly.
Yeah.
That was 2017 was a very tough time. I went through some very strong personal crisis, and I also became very toxic. If I opened the email and I can't do the work, I would feel like even down. So every failure put me down.
Yeah.
Every signal told me I was going down. I was not a happy person, right? My resting heart rate now is 60. Then it used to be around 80s, right? It came to a point where I decided I'll leave Hackerrank.
Oh.
So this phase was like 1.5 years.
Yeah.
Something magical happened and I clicked. Always have these two friends. A friend who will congratulate you on everything.
Yeah.
A friend who will question you on everything.
Yes.
If you have these two friends, you know whom to call it with. The friend who holds you accountable is a real friend.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
True.
The worst thing to lose in life is trust.
Trust. Yes.
Money is like the easiest thing to lose. You can earn it back.
Hello everyone, welcome to a new video, and for this video we have Mr. Dhananjay, and I'll give his introduction. So Dhananjay is a tech expert, and he has over a decade of experience working as a leader and product manager at companies like Microsoft, Hackerrank. Currently he's in Kalvium, and apart from this corporate world, he is also passionate about healthy living and fitness. He is also involved in JTD Foundation, an NGO which is close to his heart, and he with all the wealth of his knowledge and experience, I think he's a fantastic guy to talk to, and this conversation will be very beautiful, and I hope you'll like this video, and DJ will also share some insight about his life, and it will be too much interesting for you to listen. So I'm very excited to have you on this show, and thank you so much to being here.
Thanks, Raju. Thanks, Raju.
Yeah.
So thanks for the introduction. Then the challenge is I'm not a very big tech expert.
Yeah,
I
it's fine.
in the audience, but yeah, I'm someone I think who's very interested in computer fundamentals.
Huh.
Tech accidental engineer. We'll talk more about that.
Okay.
But that was a very generous introduction. So I want to put a disclaimer. So whatever I talk here is my own personal statements, and it doesn't have any affiliation to either Kalvium or Dhananjay Foundation.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. So first, I'd like to. It's better if you just just give us a brief about your background. Where did you come from, and why did you choose this industry, and just basically about your history. What have you done in till here?
Yeah, the word history has a lot to do with my history, so I'll tell you, right? So yeah, I think born and brought up in Bangalore. So my parents came to Bangalore in 1978 with 350 rupees in their pocket. So my father used to work as a cooking contractor, and my mother used to stitch mosquito nets. So we started from there. So they came to Bangalore with 350 rupees, and they spent 100 rupees in getting a house, and 250 rupees remained. One important thing was both of them were educated. So my father had done first year BCom, my mother had done first year BA. So that helped us. So our focus was always on education. So that was in 1978, and 2023 I'm sitting here. So in that time, I did my schooling in Bangalore. And I did my college also in Bangalore. Engineering, I went to a place called Tumkur, just 70 kilometers away. So the institutions I studied had a very big role to play in my personality. So the first institution I studied, which was my school was a phenomenal school. So what they did was we used to pay some 700, 800 rupees admission fee.
Okay.
My school took all my admission fee and invested it in an educational bond.
Oh,
So when I finished my 10th, they handed over me 12,000 rupees.
nice.
And my fees was 2,300 in my plus one. So thankfully, that helped us a lot. That took care of my entire plus one and plus two. Then I went to a college called National College, Baswangudi, the chairman of which was Dr. H. Narsimaya,
Okay.
who was also a freedom fighter who has associations with Mahatma Gandhi.
Nice.
So he taught us don't agree to anything without questioning. So on all our class doors, it was said, don't agree without questioning. So that built this whole thing of asking questions to anybody, not being scared. Then I went to a college called Siddhaganga Institute of Technology, which was actually led by a Swamiji called Dr. Shiv Kumar Swamiji. He's also called someone in Karnataka, if you go, he's addressed as Walking God. So he's a man who built an institution which gave free education to lakhs of people.
Okay.
And that had a very spiritual effect, right? I think when we went to the mud, and Swamiji got up at 2:30 in the morning. He slept for only 1-2 hours throughout his life.
Nice.
So yeah, I think this was my educational qualification. I did my engineering. After I finished my engineering, I was also very lost. So one thing that I did very well in my engineering is I did not buy heart. I coded my own programs to the extent that the invigilators gave me less marks because they couldn't understand my code. So largely people copied code from textbooks. So during our times, exams used to be like you buy hard 15 programs and you get 90 to 100 in exams. Imagine that. And even people failed in that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was there. I think I loved data structures and algorithms. Once I finished, I didn't know what to do. The market was like you have to either go to Infosys, TCS, and nothing against, right? And they're good companies. I think they're still great companies. Offering employment to so many people. The challenge was I was lost. I didn't know what to do.
Okay.
At that time, my friends were all writing GRE. Basically like peer pressure and also a little bit of herd mentality. I said, I will also write GRE. There's a time where there is not much money in the house. My father's salary was also 15,000. My brothers had just started working. So they tried to explain me, hey, you know, this is not practical. But I'm like just someone who is still kind of not taking an autonomous decision. So then I wrote GRE and I scored a lot in verbal. So GRE has this English where you have to by heart 3,000 words and learn a lot of English.
Okay.
In my class, I was the weakest in English, but I scored the most.
Wow.
So then I went to US. Thankfully, I think my parents and my brothers, when they arranged for my US trip, that changed my life. When I went to US, that is when I think the kind of person that I wanted to be, I got an opportunity. So they made me, you know, I think their exams were fun. So here theory was 80% and practicals was 20%. Their practicals was like 60-70%.
Nice.
And I loved it. So I go to my first semester. My projects are like, hey, build an optimization to a wireless networking wireless protocol. It's fantastic. Then they said, I think, hey, here is a network. I think optimize the network. So it was fun. But anyway, I think I'll cut it short. So I finished my master's in 2006.
Okay.
And then I worked at Ericsson for 2 years as a system integrator. Then I joined Microsoft and worked there for the next 10 years.
10 years.
As an SDET, SDE, and a product manager.
Okay.
I come back to India in 2017. I joined Hackerrank as a program manager. Then Hackerrank has had the biggest like one of the biggest contributor to me as a person as well as a professional. Hackerrank has a lot to do.
Nice.
It has given me a very big buffer to evolve and do.
Evolve, yeah.
Then I joined the interview Kickstart and again an EdTech. Then, you know, Anil is a colleague who worked with Hackerrank, who was also co-founder of Kalvium.
Yeah.
So when Kalvium was getting formed, me and Anil had a chat, and I really loved the concept as well as the value system of the founders. It was an instant connect. So now I'm here talking to you. I'm sorry, I think my introductions are
No, it's
cut
fine.
me off.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you went to US and you got a whole narrative for what you want to do. So what was that situation? I mean, what changed you? What gave you this spark that I want to do this?
Oh, got it. No, thanks for asking this.
Yeah.
It will be a long answer, cut me.
Yeah, it's fine.
Please cut it in editing if I.
Okay.
So see, US was very interesting in two terms. I thought I was very self-dependent. US opened my eyes. Because when I went there, when I did not have the support of family, I realized how dependent I am.
Yes.
So that kind of gave me the emotional maturity. I literally used to sit and cry in the first semester. And I would do all the teenage drama. Like, hey, you know, I want to come back, but I'm not able to do well in courses because I'm homesick. All this, I think, drama got cut in first 6 months. So all the junk I had put in my brain kind of got cleaned up in the first 6 months.
Nice.
So I became very, very open. I could understand things. My baggage had gone. So that was the biggest contribution of US. It showed me what I am. Because a crocodile in water is very, very powerful. Only when you go out, you understand you also have vulnerabilities, right? For me, US was that out of waters. Now, how would I settle down in a country where I think, I don't know many people,
Yeah.
it's a different
Yeah.
culture, different environment. That challenge was the best.
Okay.
Education, again, the point is all the professors teaching in US are the ones doing research.
Yeah.
So, like, take anybody, they have published like 50, 60 papers. There are many patents, grants from big industries. What joy to kind of listen to them. I think every class you go is enlightenment.
Yeah.
So the syllabus there is also not, the syllabus belongs to the professor. So they can change. For example, when I was studying there, the wireless protocol was 802.11b. Now it is probably NH or Z or AB. I don't know.
Yeah.
Now they'll be teaching that.
Okay.
So great professors, Dr. Ravi Prakash, then I think algorithms. We had Dr. Balaji Raghavachari.
So professors were also Indian.
Most of them, yes. No, there were others. So there was Dr. Balaji Raghavachari, who was JE #1 rank.
Oh.
A phenomenal person who taught me databases.
Ah.
So now I think when databases courses start here,
Yeah.
that will test my what he did. It was every course had a project. Like if I did databases, I think most of the time I did say stored procedures and queries. If I did a mobile networking course, I did optimize the networking protocol. And if I did another course, I did a file-to-file transfer protocol.
Okay.
So every course, if I did software engineering course, I built an application.
Yeah.
So that kind of, that made me think that, hey, I don't have to sit in classes for like, and guess how many hours we had classes per week?
In US?
Yeah.
4 or 5?
Three courses,
Huh.
2.5 hours each.
2.5 only.
In the 2.5 hours, I think they covered enough
Huh.
that I had to sit and study for 6 to 7 hours a week.
Hmm.
If I did not invest that, gone.
Yeah.
Next week, I'm out.
Self-studies.
Yeah, I'm out of it.
Huh.
I get 2.5 hours of lessons, then I have to learn. Of course, there were some easy courses which people took for grades.
Yeah.
But I always went and chose top grades because money, $1 is 47 rupees.
Yeah.
So then, okay, so then that's the thing. The courses were very, very practical, and everything that I learned, I understood. Every course added value to.
Yeah.
So that was a big difference, which meant I think now I was very confident of knowledge, acquiring knowledge, and also applying that knowledge.
Yeah.
So that was the best part. And another most important thing US did to me was I did not have to be someone else.
Yeah.
And our labs, I could be me.
Yeah.
Because I was actually, when I was in engineering, me writing that programs, I was considered like an idiot. Because, hey, why are you doing this when you're getting less marks?
Oh.
Correct.
Yeah.
So somewhere the risk taking was in me. I was like, maybe genetic or whatever. I never shied away from looking stupid in front of the crowd. For me, improving myself was more important than how I project myself to the rest of the world. Even now, I don't have a problem making fool of myself if I grow. But US taught me risk taking. Most of my friends who went and worked in this one, what is it, gas stations. I'm not judging them.
Yeah.
Because everybody comes from a different
Yes.
background. Gas stations and motels and restaurants. Even I did for experience. I waited in a restaurant for 2 weeks. I also spent 1 month in a motel because I wanted money for Java certification.
Yeah.
But I did not succumb to the pressure of earning money. Because my point was very simple. I get $5 to $6 an hour.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
If I spend that time on education, I'm much better placed.
Yeah.
Correct. The money that I make in these 2 years, I'll make it in 1 month after I earn. Why am I wasting this time?
Yeah.
So I cannot, what I realized there is, I can buy time, I can buy money with time, and I cannot buy time with money.
Yes.
So, yeah, this is a risk taking and being myself. And an atmosphere which let me thrive. My labs were open 24 hours. And I would sit in the labs all the time, switch on to music, code and code and code. I finished most of my projects in first 15 days. Then I helped others do the project.
Wow.
I learned most while
Helping others.
Projects.
Nice.
Yeah.
So my background also just looks similar. My father and mother were not educated. They also had little amount. My father roamed in India. He went to Bangalore, Hyderabad, and Chennai to just get a better earning source. And then the schooling also played a big role in my life. That the school I have been to is called Swami Narayan School. So it's run by a Swamiji called.
Same Mandir, Swami Narayan Mandir. And
Yeah, it's Mandir and school both. So they teach everything from sanskars to education and all. So that played a vital role in my background. And I also had just a similar thought like you, that I can be dependable on myself and I can do myself. But when I came out of my home and I came to here in this college, I just came to know that it's not that easy as you think.
Correct.
And the same thing happened to you also, right?
Yeah.
And this I think everyone in teenage should just get out of their home and try exploring other options.
Correct.
And living on their own.
Correct.
And they'll come to know the world more better. They'll see the real faces of the people.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
thanks for saying that, right? So,
Ah.
two things I would take 1 minute to kind of.
Yeah.
See, our past generation is a very interesting generation.
Ah.
I think they have made us the priority.
Yes.
Like they haven't watched movies, they haven't
Yeah.
gone to restaurants.
Yeah.
Day in, day out, they do the same boring, what we consider the same boring thing every day, just to make sure we get a
Working on
better
it.
life. I
Yeah.
think India should be very, very, very. We should have a lot of gratitude to that generation,
Yes.
which did not prioritize anything for them,
Yeah.
prioritize everything for us.
Yeah. They put everything for us
For us,
only.
right?
Yeah.
I think my parents, I think, for them going for a movie, taking some time off us, that was all like not even there in the dictionary.
Yeah.
Correct. And probably young viewers will be watching. So I'll tell you, in US, now we have WhatsApp. For me to call India would cost me 1 hour would cost me $10.
Wow.
And my monthly expenses were $150. So that added more pain. In the current world of technology, like this is I'm telling how technology can, help people's lives. If I had WhatsApp, I probably would be half as sad as what I was then.
Yeah. So in US, I think this is the thing that if someone is living with their parents, then people mock them that you're living with your parents. What are you doing? So how is it culture like in
Yeah,
US?
no, that's a good question, right?
Yeah.
I think there. I think on the plus side, right? On the positive side, people are very, very autonomous. Even kids, the way they communicate, right? I think if an 80-year-old, how an 80-year-old interacts with a shopkeeper itself is like beautiful. I think that culture makes them become independent of themselves.
Okay.
So that is the thing. So and also like people start living in with their girlfriends and boyfriends,
Partners.
and that I think you can't do at home. Right?
Yeah.
So that happens. Mocking is again right. Yeah, I think it is more of in India also now it's happening.
Yeah.
Now I think if there is somebody working and living with their parents, I think they are being mocked. It is also coming here. But that has less effect. So Indian kids do live with their parents mostly.
Yeah.
Now I don't know. I left US 5, 6 years ago. What is the cultural shift there? I have not been connected to US at all since I came back. But when I was there, yes. So American kids, Indian kids there are called ABCDs.
ABCD.
ABCD is again right. I think it's just on a fun. It was a movie. American
Oh, yeah.
confused Desi. American born
Confused
Desi. Again, this is not a mark on any Indian
yeah.
community, right? I think this is more of
Just
this was a movie. This name which was
Yeah.
brought by an Indian American. There is a challenge for Indian kids there, right? I think now they are American citizens.
Yeah.
Now they are going to live there.
Yeah.
So how do you balance Indian values and American values? That is a great challenge for a parent.
Yeah.
Very challenging.
Yeah.
Because we are still the same, right? Let's say my daughter grew up in US. My values are all what my father and mother have given me. Now, how would I kind of blend it? It's a very interesting challenge for every parent. Some of them find it very hard. Correct. But that is the culture, right? My point is if a kid is born there, you have to raise them like an American with Indian
Yes.
values.
Yes.
That's not, that's a little hard.
Yeah. So even the people who are born in US but from Indian background, they should also get this sanskars and values like our Indian, because in India, if you look to the past, then there were not this schooling system. There were gurukuls.
Correct.
And there we were not taught social economics and politics and everything, science, physics. The basic things which we were taught was sanskars, how to behave with people, and that way it will help us a lot in growing up in our life.
Correct.
Where in school, if we are taught only this physics, chemistry, maths, that helps us in professional career, but not like holistic development.
Holistic development.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
True. See, then again, right, every country has a history. How did America get formed? Right. So, 400 years ago, all the people in America were not there. Who were there in America? The people we don't even know their country's name. What the names of countries, right? So what has happened in US is roughly, if you read this book by David Stannard. He's a professor of history from University of Hawaii. So I can basically send you a link.
Yeah. Okay.
So he talks about how like roughly 20 million people. 20 million people were not 20, more than that, right? Since Columbus went to US, like crores of people were killed
Yeah.
to form the country.
Yeah.
So now a country with that kind of a history and country like India, it's very difficult to kind of get the value.
Yeah.
Right? We are in India. I think we have stayed here for like probably how many thousands of years, right? Now, if you, I won't get into that whole dating of Vedas and everything. We were an oral knowledge study. So it's difficult, right?
Yeah,
For a
it is.
country which has 400 years of history, not even 400,
More.
then I think less than that,
Oh.
like which is US.
Oh, US.
And India, it's not apples to apples. It's probably very difficult for something as deep as Indian values to be inculcated in any other society. It's very difficult. So for me and you, I think the genetic thing is like from 2030 generation.
Yeah.
So imagine, right? I think somebody living there, what is it? A lot of war, a lot of killings. Right. So like when did for example, the schools in England, they were not teaching maths until like a couple of hundred years ago.
Oh.
All schools.
Yeah.
It was very theological. So now, anyway, if you go into it, I think it will go far. But what I would like to conclude with is there is no one solution fits all. It is the context. The context America is in, certain values will be useful. The context India is in, certain values.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then if I bat for India, which I will, it might look like a bias. But yes, I always wanted to come back. I never. I don't know if the question is there. But I'll guess. I say that we can't apply something in a different context to another context. Yes, the part of it can go, but all of it will be very difficult. It's a very different society.
Yeah.
Right. I'll tell you one small example. It's also starting to happening in India a little bit. So there was a time where one of my friends was admitted in a hospital. This was Sunday afternoon. 70% of the people in the old people ward, right? I basically would go and interact with them because there wouldn't be any visitors for them. So there was a person whose son stayed 2.5 hours away.
Oh.
Hadn't visited for 3 months.
Oh.
Correct. So that I think, yes, I think I would say, look, I think you need to give time. Somebody is lying in the hospital for 2.5 months and you are like 200 miles away. You please talk, right? I think that is a request more than, I think that value definitely. We wouldn't, I think generally, again, in India, I think that is considered like correct. We have to take care of our
Yes.
That is definitely a value. At the same time, what can India take from USA? Correct. It's a give and take between civilizations. Time sense, professionalism. I think America is extremely. I think the time sense is great. Meeting is 9. It is 9, not 9, what 9 to. It is 9. Then I think the professionalism, right? I think Americans are very good at not bringing biases into work, right? There is no behind the door, talking, and that whole forming factions. Very professional, dignity of labor. If you went into Apple's office, the way Tim Cook will talk to a janitor and Tim Cook will talk to his his C-suite, is going to be the same. That is something that we have done. Correct.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is like exchange, right? Give something to another civilization, borrow something from them.
Yes.
So that is the right way,
Yeah.
I would say.
So you have seen a foreign education system of US also and Indian also. So what do you feel is the major difference between both? Why people leave India and go to there and study?
Two things, right? Things have changed. I'll tell you why I went and what is it that has changed. So at that time, there were very less companies, product-based companies.
Okay.
So for us, I think money was very important. I went to US only because of money. Right? Education, quality of education definitely, right? That is goes without saying. I went for that. So for me, if I go there, I can earn enough. I can come back and do what I wanted to do, which I'm doing right now. So that was my intent. If I was a student now, I would have still gone to US to get a cultural exposure. Right? And understand the startup ecosystem there. Because they are miles ahead. We will get there, but they are miles ahead. At this time, I think there is more to learn from the startup ecosystem in the US. I would have gone for that. Today's student, I don't think for jobs you have to go. For money you have to go. I think India, then I think it was 1:20 ratio. If you paid like one person hiring one person there, you could hire 10, 20 people here.
Okay.
Today it is coming down to 1:2.
Yeah.
So money is not a problem.
Not a problem.
And purchase power parity, if you look, I think what you make in India is much more than
Yeah.
what you make in US. Right? And expenses are also very high. But today, I think the ecosystem is great. Right? We also have to understand we don't have a Windows equivalent. We don't have a Google equivalent. Like, if you want to do that, I think we have to go and learn for sure. Right? How did they build those great systems? And we should also understand 30% of the 30 to 40% of the fraternity that built was people like you and me who went from this education system. So coming to education system, the challenge, right, that we have is we somehow have given up on see what was Indian education system. Let's go to the history. Our education system is highly influenced by British. What did British want from India?
Money only?
No, followers.
Followers.
People who did what they say.
Okay.
So they took our entire education system and said, you follow instructions. Even today, if you read, it will not teach you curiosity. It will not teach you questioning. Correct. It will teach you how to follow.
How to follow, yeah.
If I say this person ruled from this day to this day, that's it. Now, what am I learning from it? Correct.
People don't even question.
We don't question. We are not trained to question.
Yeah.
If you question, you're admonished.
Yes.
Right? I think generally, if you 9 out of 10 teachers today will not nurture the curiosity.
Yeah.
They will like I think if I ask a question doubt, I think like that is considered the person asking doubt in the class is considered a bad guy.
Bad guy, yeah.
Right? Bad. Right? So that is the challenge. US, I think when you ask a question, the professor, like my professors would light up. If you ask them a tough question they did not know, they respected you even more. And they said like, look, hey, I don't have that perspective. Let me come back to it. Because that is growth mindset.
Yeah, it is.
Correct. And there are great teachers. Again, there is no generic statement. The challenge we have is right now there are 140 crore people. Out of 140 crore people, at least 60 crores are students. We're a young country. Our average is like 27, 28. So 60 crores are students. Out of that, I think 30% go to government institutions.
Yeah.
Government appointments, unfortunately. Again, right? I'm talking about this at a risk of losing a lot of friends. There is no performance-based appraisals in government.
Yeah.
It is tenure-based promotions. Now you have no incentive to do a great job. Okay. And I'll also tell you, it is not a question of money in Indian education.
Yeah.
An average government school kid, government spends at least 2 to 3 lakhs for every student that goes to a school, which is 2 times more than any good private school in the country. So it is not about money. It's about efficiency. It needs a lot of cleanup. There has to be performance-based,
People.
performance-based appraisals in government schools.
Okay.
But if you try to do that, the whole system will collapse.
Yes.
Because there is like caste-based reservations also in teaching.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Again, if you question that, that becomes a challenge. I understand why it has to be.
Yeah.
So then there is no incentive, right? I join an institution for next 40 years, for 35 years. I'm given a promotion based on time I work. So why would I do more?
Yeah.
Correct. Now a system like that, how much can it contribute to students? But that said, every government school has this 1 or 2 teachers who go above and beyond.
Yes, they go.
At the mockery of other teachers.
Yeah.
Correct. In 7th pay commission, the starting salary is 40,000 rupees in the government school. A headmaster makes like more than 1 lakh. Correct. So it's not small money, right? In a town or a village. Again, then pay teachers. Pay your teachers, pay your doctors, pay your lawyers for a better society.
Yeah.
But then like for what? Right? I come to school at 9. I go back home at 4. What am I doing to my students? Correct. What is the difference I can bring from 9 to 4? But there are some great teachers, Raju, who basically keep students in the school, pay their fees, right? Cry when the students stop education. It is probably the 10% of teachers in this country. I know you have probably experienced. So I know a lot of such teachers. It's because of them education has improved.
Yeah.
All our life, right? There was this 1 or 2 teachers who made us what we are today.
Yes.
If we can scale that to even like that, can double. The 10% can become 20%, we will go very far.
Yes.
And also, it is very difficult to make. We question the government for not making changes in the education system. If you go and read about, I can send you a few articles on what it takes to change anything in a textbook in this country. It takes significant amount of
a lot of process has to be done.
Correct. So now, what can we do? To be honest,
Yeah.
right? We have money. So everybody thinks it's a question of money. We are spending 2 to 3 lakhs per student. Yet we are not able to give the quality that we could, because if you go
Yeah.
to, my daughter went to a preschool in US. That, like, it taught her like real skills,
Okay. Okay.
like cleaning up a table. Simple. That is a great skill.
Yeah.
Now think about it, right? Now my daughter will never throw any garbage outside. She will never, whenever she has done anything with the school, I think she cleans the bench and puts.
In Japan also there is this culture that the students clean their classroom after
In
the
Japan,
day
you
is
have to
done.
clean everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if a student is throwing a chewing gum in the class, he'll think twice that my colleagues have to clean it, or maybe I have to clean it. So they won't just let the things get dirty.
Exactly. Right?
Yeah.
Those are the things, right? Lot left to be desired. Lot less left to be desired in the Indian education system. I'm not mocking the country.
Yeah.
I'm saying that the education system needs a thorough refinement.
Yeah.
But then a lot of teachers will have to retire.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
That's
that is the
also.
thing. Right? At the hour of catching like teachers feeling bad about it, that is the truth. If you want it, I think there is a lot of transformation that is required, and it will come. It will come. I'm very, very positive about the future of this country.
Okay.
Because the new
Yeah.
teachers are not that.
Yes.
Anybody who is joining now, right,
Yeah.
is now more student focused than anybody who joined 2024.
Yes. And there are so many rules in India which were built by Britishers, but they are still not changed after getting freedom. But that is another talk for a day.
No, definitely. But education system needs again, right? I think like we have done okay,
Yeah,
but we have
it
to
could be better.
it will be, see, it is not liberal, right? I think if you, sorry, I think I'll just take it.
Yeah.
If you look at our schools,
Uh,
so today an average student spends like think about it, right? You are like 6, 7 years old.
Yes.
You are made to sit for 8 hours in the school,
mm,
6 to 8 hours.
mm,
Then many kids go to tuition. So you get up in the morning, you go from home to one
home
jail.
to, yeah.
Then you come back from the jail because like think about an 8, 9 year old.
Yeah.
Can they sit at one place for 8 hours?
No.
Impossible.
Yeah.
That is where you have killed their curiosity and originality.
Yes.
Then you come from that place. Now I think like they're sent to tuitions. For what marks?
Their childhood is gone.
Childhood is gone. And that is where like the formative years it is gone.
Yeah.
And now I think a child whose innocence and spirit you have killed at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's very difficult for them to recuperate from.
Yes. And their creativity is gone.
Very
Nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Right. There is definitely right.
They're just following a system made by some citizens and just nothing
British
question.
wanted, right? Britishers wanted copies
Yeah.
of people, right? They had see, for their purpose they did a great job in operation. They built a system which gave them what they wanted.
Yeah.
Now we have to build a system which should give us what we want. We cannot be resting on like, and it's high time we started blaming Britishers.
Yeah.
Control is in your hands and now.
Yes.
Correct.
And if we look at the private schools, then the fee of senior KG or junior KG will be also more than 30,000. And if they put the same kid into the government school, the kid might not learn anything. But in private school, they just put and just give the money, and the kid just goes from 5 to 9 or 9 to 5, and like that slavery thing.
The challenge is this paradox, right? Where
Yeah.
private schools don't pay, but there are great teachers.
Yes.
Government school pays. That's the
Teachers are
challenge.
not.
Students don't.
Students also. The parents has this thought process that government school are not good.
That is just a thing. No, I wouldn't agree with that because there are 7 lakh villages in this country.
Yeah.
So there will be at least, I'm thinking 1 lakh government high schools. I think government schools are good.
Okay.
For sure. In the sense, overall, if you look at it, because people have to pass an exam to get there. What happens there is the autonomy. See, the thing is, the head of the institution needs autonomy. For example, right, I'll probably take, if I'm running something at Kalvium, I need that autonomy.
Yeah.
If I'm like bogged down by rules, I cannot move. If I'm cramped, I think, what risks am I going to take? What change am I going to take? Growth comes with risks. And if I'm not allowed to take some risks and make mistakes, I can't better the system.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Today, in government schools, I'll tell you, I work in Andhra. A government school teacher has to go take the pictures of all the toilets and send it to management to show it is clean.
Yeah.
Every day, which is great, but we need to automate it. Like a headmaster cannot be doing, taking like some 20, 30 pictures and uploading it to internet. And the system is also something where you have to manually upload it. There is no way to bulk upload. These are the challenges. So there is a lot left to be desired there. So private schools have, I think like teachers don't get paid. Good students go there. Government schools, I think, like not so good students, at least, like I think, people who are well off don't go.
Yeah, don't go.
And then I think they have great teachers for them. That is the paradox. Yeah.
Yes. So you were working in Microsoft for more than 10 years. Then what made you come to here and work on Hackerrank?
Work at Hackerrank. Oh, thank you. That's a good question. Actually, that is good. I think I can really talk about. So Microsoft, I started as an SDET. When I got into Microsoft, nobody believed I could get in there, especially my people in India. We were 40 people in engineering. Out of that, 42 were management sales. So then 38 remained. 38. I stood 37th in my class.
Wow.
Okay. So now me going to Microsoft was a big, I think it was difficult for people to believe, right? Because we gauge people by how much marks they scored, which has no relation to my skill.
Yes.
I did great as an SDET. And when I was doing, I was a tester for 7 people, so 7 developers. So I couldn't test all their code. So that is when I started writing tools for them to test it themselves.
Okay.
That is why, that is where my development manager saw a developer in me. He said, "Hey DJ, you want to come and work as a dev?" I said, "Okay."
Okay.
Then I was working on a project where my product manager had to go on a vacation for some long time because of health. So I also made sure the project went well. So then my product manager asked, "Hey DJ, you want to work as a product manager?" I said, "Okay."
Nice.
So then I came back to India. I had to come back. I think it got extended, and my daughter was 6, and I think it was time. I had to come. I came back.
So your family was living in India or USA?
No, I was, I think both my daughter along with the family were living in the US.
Okay.
And we came back in 2017. So now, when I come back to India, that was 2017 was a very tough time. I went through some very strong personal crisis. And I also became very toxic because the kind of pressures that were, I couldn't take it. And I started, and this had, right, I think a lot of things that you look at me was a part of this scene. Having served at Microsoft for 9 years, I became somebody in 2017 that I'm not very proud of. I became very toxic. I started talking ill about teams. Again, like my bar is a little high, so now, I might use some words.
Yeah.
So I was not a team player. In 2017, I'm very, very. I'm ashamed of I think what I was that time. Maybe if somebody who reported to me is watching, even they can see the transformation. It became so bad that I couldn't handle pressure, and then I couldn't work. After working at Microsoft for 10 years, I came to a point. I was scared of opening the email. Okay. Because I was so underconfident. If I opened the email and I can't do the work, I would feel like even down. So every failure put me down. Yeah. So this is a thing where I think things can happen to you. It is like I think your confidence might not be the same. So then it went to a point where I couldn't work. I couldn't go to office. I got scared. Right? If I had to step into the office, I would start getting jitters. Then we realized, I think, spoke to the manager and said, it's time that I leave. Okay. Because I was adding like for 6 to 7 months, I had added zero value. Zero value.
6 to 7 months.
6 to 7 months, I added zero value. And it is very grateful to people over there who did not kick me off. Yes. And I deserve to be, right? I think I'll be very honest. I think there is no second thought in that. That taught me a lot. Because, again, I'm not defending that. I think the personal pressures were high, but the toxicity of me, I think, told me like how much of a loss I had brought to the organization. Yeah. And that became my future endeavor, where I think I knew what is the power of teamwork. Yeah. And what is the power of one person not adding value to the team. Yeah. 11 cricket players, right? If one player is not batting for the team, we will lose the match. Yes. So anyway, at that time, I lost the job. Zero confidence. I went to this place where I wanted to sell the house and see that I think if the interest that I get from that can take care of my expenses. So I was that down. Okay. I even went to some engineering colleges and asked, can I get a lecturer job? But the pay was like 1/5 of what I was making. So that was difficult. I had commitments also. Yeah. At that time, Hackerrank came to my life as a big lifesaver. Okay. Somewhere my resume was found on Naukri. If Kenny, I think, watches, Kenny is the HR. I'm very grateful to him. Him finding my resume changed my life. Then I joined Hackerrank. So this whole thing, right? I think when I came back, joining Hackerrank
Huh.
was an accident,
Huh.
but that was probably the best accident of my life.
Okay.
Hackerrank is one of the best companies I've worked for.
Nice.
Like the founders were younger than me. They have taught me so much. I'm still in touch with them. Raju, I forgot your question, but sorry, I got into the flow.
No, I just asked what made you join Hackerrank?
Yeah,
Just the thing.
Hackerrank was an accident.
Yeah.
But I worked there for next 3 years. The kind of growth Hackerrank gave me, the 3 years, what I grew at Hackerrank, I did not grow as much for 10 years at Microsoft. I'll tell you, right?
Yeah.
After leaving Microsoft, that toxicity, not toxicity, but underconfidence was still in me. I couldn't perform at Hackerrank also for 6 months. Right? It came to a point where I decided I'll leave Hackerrank.
Oh.
So this phase was like 1.5 years.
Yeah.
Something magical happened and I clicked. I thank God for that because I don't know what made it click. But then I had a great ride at Hackerrank. Everybody was so supportive. Of course, I had my challenges. You have challenges in every company. But today, what Hackerrank has contributed to me as an individual and as a professional, I would be eternally grateful. It gave me a second innings where I had lost hope. I thought I'm done with IT.
Okay.
But now Hackerrank gave me a new role, new platform. That is where my journey to program management began from product.
Wow.
And I wouldn't have planned it this way. I would have probably stayed at Microsoft otherwise. I'm glad that I suffered for that 1 year, which got me into Hackerrank, then into another great company called Intellytics.
Yeah.
And now thank you.
Yeah, that's what something which doesn't kill you makes you more stronger.
Yeah, anything, right? And there is a 1/3 rule, right? If you are in the growth path, you are 1/3 happy, you are 1/3 okay, and you are 1/3 crappy. So you are all feeling crappy all the time. But see, to be honest, I think a lot of youngsters who are watching, right? I think this is very important to learn from others' mistakes also.
Yeah.
The mistake I made was, I think, I took my incapability as incapability of somebody else.
Okay.
I should have just accepted that I think the mental state that I'm in, I'm not able to work and I had taken a break. I had taken that it will come to everyone in their life. Let's say you basically start working, then let's say marriage doesn't work for you.
Okay.
At that time, I think take a break. Now organizations have also gotten more human. So now you can talk to your HR and say, hey, you know what? I think like I'm not able to give my best.
Okay.
So I'm going to take a 2 months loss of pay vacation. Then do some soul searching, get back.
Yeah.
If I had done that, I probably would have. But anyway, what is bygone is bygone. But always, right? I think if you are toxic, if you are not playing a team player role, it is a wake up call for everybody because you might be risking that organization. Because today I'm very sad about one thing. The organization which gave me 10 years of work, for 6 months, I did not do my duty properly.
Yeah. Yeah, but that will be there. It's the phase where you learn things, right?
Yeah, I learned a lot of things. Like at 36, I basically learned it. Very grateful for the learning also. But I'm also basically like apologetic about what I couldn't do for that 6 months.
So was that the toughest period of your life, or was there something else which was more toughest than that 1.5 year?
That was the toughest. That was the toughest because I was facing a personal crisis, professional crisis. I had never taken two crises at the same time. Now I think I might face it, but I'll handle it better.
Okay.
Now I think that made me react to happiness and sadness in the same time. Correct.
Okay. Are you comfortable sharing something more about it and just telling what all things you learned and what was your mistake at that time?
So my mistake was my mistake was not taking a break.
Okay.
The biggest mistake was not taking a break. And if it was like I think see the thing is if you don't take steps, then shit will hit the ceiling.
Yeah.
You need to know that.
Yeah.
Right? You can't keep it forever.
Yeah.
And you need to be mindful of that. You know when you are becoming toxic. You know that when you are actually, let's say a couple of things about toxicity. A meeting happens. You don't open up in the meeting. Right after the meeting, you'll call somebody for a cup of coffee and start talking about the meeting there.
Oh.
That is a sign of toxicity.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Bitching behind the back is a bad thing.
Yeah, that is also.
That is the thing, right? I think now if there is something, address it with an individual.
Yes.
If you addressing to an individual who is not related to it is useless. But the other person, because there's no context.
Yeah.
And that other person will only talk something which will make him more friendly to you.
Yeah.
Which is also bad.
Yeah, it is.
So that is one thing. Then don't talk about anything behind its back. If you have something, clear it with the concerned person.
Yeah, concerned person.
Right? That is what will start politics, which is not required for an organization. Right? The CEO, CTO has worked so hard to build a company.
Yeah.
This is what you need. Don't bitch behind the back. Take a break. everybody goes down.
Yeah.
It, what I expressed today will happen in everybody's career who's
Yeah,
watching
it will.
2 to 3 times.
Yes.
When it happens, take a break.
Hmm.
It's okay. Save some money.
Hmm.
Don't waste money.
Yeah.
So keep some buffer so that I think when something like this happens, it can take like 6 months.
Yes. Some emergency fund you should
And
have.
leaving the job is a lot more, lot better than having a
Continue.
bad life.
Hmm.
That is another learning.
Hmm.
Your work, I don't believe that work life and personal life are different. My work is also personal.
Yes.
If it is hurting me, staying happy, I'll take a break from it.
Ah. Oh.
No politics, take a break.
Yeah.
And don't, I think consider that if you take a break, your career is
Career is gone. Yes.
you coming back will be a new you and you will do better.
Yeah.
Very important. So I'll share you what really transpired that time. I think I had a personal life crisis in my personal marriage, and that's kind of went into this whole
Okay.
work as well.
Hmm.
So what happens is, I think, if let's say you have gangrene in your leg, if you don't cut it, it will spread to you.
Yeah, it will.
So it is very important. When you see that, I think you're like, okay, whether you want to save your life or you want to save your leg. I would rather take a plastic leg than
Yes.
getting killed.
Yes.
But what I did was, I think I did not take measures at the right time.
Hmm.
Despite many signals, I was not sensitive to all the signals around me.
Hmm.
Every signal told me I was going down.
Hmm.
I was not a happy person,
Hmm.
right? My resting heart rate now is 60. Then it used to be around 80s.
Oh.
That told me that I think I was agitated,
Yeah.
right? I was not very, anybody that I spoke to, I think I would probably speak a little negatively. That was a signal. I wouldn't talk a lot of happy things. I would talk about demeaning someone. So that was a signal, right? Just because I was not capable, I think the person who told me the truth, rather than, respecting them, I probably took a different step, which was also very, very bad.
Yeah.
So you know it actually. Be sensitive, right? I think when you have negative energy, you know it.
Yes.
Then tell yourself, go for a vacation, go for a hike. Always have these two friends. A friend who will congratulate you on everything.
Yeah.
A friend who will question you on everything.
Yes.
If you have these two friends, you know whom to call at friends.
I just read that thing yesterday or day before
Yeah.
yesterday in that book.
Yeah, yeah.
Hard things about hard things.
Oh yeah, right. Oh, thank you. That is a great book. Yeah, I think for readers, I think Raju is reading the book, Hard Thing About Hard Things. I'm glad he's reading it at 18, right? It is written by Ben Horowitz.
Yeah.
Who has been a venture capitalist and been a phenomenal founder.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think you need to have them. I wish I had spoken to that person then. Now I speak.
Yes.
Now I'm very that way. My humility has increased because it's not that I don't feel toxic today. I do feel toxic. But I have mechanisms to come out of the toxicity in 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Then it took 10 months. Now it is 10 minutes.
Ah.
I'm human.
Yeah.
And also accept that you're human.
There's nothing wrong.
You will make mistakes.
Yes.
Right.
And that's how you learn and grow.
And the last thing is, again, you have brought the book, right? Ben Horowitz writes in the book that focus on the road and not on the wall.
Yeah.
Right?
Hmm.
If you focus on the road, I think your journey will be much better. The wall is always there.
Yeah, it is always.
You might hit the wall.
Yeah.
But if you focus on the wall, you will definitely hit the wall.
Yeah.
I focus more on the wall, not on the road.
Oh, that was the mistake.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Yeah, a lot of people might do this thing in their career, but if they come to a realization, they'll probably be able to prevent it.
Yeah. See, nobody is designing things for you to fail.
Yes.
Nobody. Nobody has the time. Psychological studies are good. But somewhere I think the way we feel important.
Yeah.
Again, a book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. One of your fellow colleagues referred it to me. It's a phenomenal book.
Yeah,
it is.
Yes, it is.
So it talks about it's all about how people feel important. If you feel important when somebody praises you, appreciation. No, praises just patronizes you, or if somebody when you criticizes you, everybody has a different mechanism.
Yeah.
If you are someone who's only feeling important when somebody praises you, that is a wrong precedent.
Yeah, that
then
is.
you cannot take criticism.
Yeah.
Correct. So accept criticism.
Yeah.
The friend who holds you accountable is a real friend.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
True.
Who tells you, hey Raju,
don't go there.
What you're doing is not right. You need those friends.
Yeah.
If somebody comes and tells you, oh Raju, everything that you're doing is, you need that friend also when you do great things. But you also need that friend who brings you to the ground.
Yeah, who stays unbiased.
Stays unbiased and also keeps you grounded.
Yeah.
I have some friends who will, like my family is that. My daughter is my biggest grounding agent. So she's like, You don't know maths, you don't know science, how did you get a job? It's a correct thing.
Yeah,
Struggle with mathematics.
questioning.
Right?
Hmm.
So thankfully I have those people in my life.
Uh,
I also have my friend Sham,
hmm.
who has helped me throughout this journey.
Hmm.
Sham is someone who's so unbiased about me. I think whenever I feel a little uh, how how is it? I think not sorted.
Not sorted.
I go for a cup of coffee, we
Uh,
do again 10, 15 kilometers of walk, and then I'm sorted by then.
So then you came to here, you started your work in Hackerrank. Then what made you start this NGO and
Yeah.
get into giving back to the community what you have
Yeah,
earned?
thanks. Yeah, thank you. I think that's a very personal, I think, personal, everything is personal. I now don't believe talking to you is personal,
Yeah.
right? I think, and working on the NGO, everything is personal.
Mm.
See, I think when my parents came to Bangalore, one thing that my parents did very well in my life,
Mm.
and all our brothers. I have two brothers and one sister.
Mm.
My eldest brother is heading a hospital in UK.
Okay.
My second brother is a project manager in Maryland.
Project.
My sister is here. She has
Mm.
done her MA in Canada. She is the smartest of us all.
Oh.
Right? Yeah, she can take a book and read and grasp everything. I
Oh.
wish I had that grasping power. My parents always talked about people who helped us.
Mm. Mm.
Anybody who gave us 10 rupees. Like one day, I think I had to go somewhere to a school. I did not have 10 rupees.
Mm.
Somebody had visited my house and gave 10 rupees.
Mm-hmm.
My mother still reminds me of that.
Oh.
So when my father was admitted in a hospital in 1970s,
Mm.
there was a Tangewal. He
Okay.
had given us 2 rupees,
Okay.
right?
Extra
No, 2 rupees because my mother did not have money
change.
for food.
Okay.
Forget change. There is somebody is admitted in the hospital. My brother is 3 months old.
Yeah.
My father is admitted in hospital
Hospital.
for typhoid. So my mother cannot go to my brother who's 3 months old. He's being taken care by my aunt.
Mm.
Then my mother has no money.
Mm.
So there was a Tangewala who gave us 2 rupees.
Mm.
That 2 rupees today, I think I can't pay it back
Yeah.
any amount.
Yeah.
Because the 2 rupees meant, I think, like, one day of food and medicines.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So we were basically grounded up at home.
Mm.
Like everybody. Like I'll probably take two names because it doesn't finish. So my dad worked in a place called Maruti Brickworks.
Where?
Maruti Brickworks.
Okay.
So he was an accountant there.
Mm.
So there, his boss, for us, they're like gods.
Mm.
So Mr. Jairam Reddy and his sons, Raja Jairam Reddy and Jay Kumar Reddy, and their daughter, who's no more, Haruna Reddy.
Okay.
They have had significant contributions to our lives.
Oh.
Because when my brother was studying medicine, Mr. Raja paid the fees. Sorry, yeah, I think so. And then engineering, somebody paid the fees. There was a time where my brother got 660th rank in All India Medical Entrance. Tomorrow, my brother has to go report to MD.
Yeah.
Join MD. Today, we don't have money for a demand draft to pay the fees. So my dad goes to my his bosses, Mr. Jairam Reddy's house. All of us have not eaten well that night because my brother has to leave in the evening and we don't have that money.
Okay.
Thankfully, we get that money because 15,000-16,000 means a lot.
Yeah.
At that time.
Yeah, at that time.
And
what was that time? 19th?
This was 1999.
Oh.
1999.
Mm.
So 1999 was a time where 96 my sister got married.
Okay.
So all my father's savings and loans creeped up. So we did not have that. So when my brother was going for MD, then we had to borrow them. My second brother was also not earning that.
Yeah.
10,000 meant a lot. My father's salary was 12,000.
Yes.
And a lot of he had to pay back some loans and all. So this was one family which did so much worse. Then the other family was Mr. Chandrasekhar. So my father had to do some part-time work.
Okay.
It did not meet ends. Mr. Chandrasekhar, we had one bedroom house where 6 of us were there and at least 4 to 5 average relatives every time. So imagine how much we could study. My brother could focus on studying medicine. Then he constructed 2 rooms for us, 90,000 in 1994.
Just to study.
Just for us to study.
Wow.
He gave us that 90,000 in 1994, right? Just because he thought we could study.
Oh.
My father was doing a couple of hours of work every day for him. That's it.
Yeah.
So imagine, right? I think if that, and there is this family called Irani's family. So when my brother did not have a place to study, they were renting houses. They gave us one full room to my brother for 6 months. Not only that, auntie, who's no more today, unfortunately, auntie would bring him tea every day in a class.
Wow.
So now think about it, right? I think our success was not ours.
Yeah.
Like, and even today, I think there is one bucket list item for me, which is a book called Gratitude.
Okay.
All the stories, there are like some 100 other stories that I couldn't tell you in this talk. I want to document all that stories.
Yeah, and publish a book.
Right, publish it.
Nice.
And I want to publish that not for the world, but I want to publish that for my next generation.
Ah.
Because my kids and my nephews think that we were like this from the
Yeah,
beginning.
yeah.
Correct. We want to, we can't condition them
Yes.
because they're living in privilege.
Yeah.
But what we can do is leave something which they can refer and
Mm.
I was telling all this because nobody is self-made. Everybody has someone's hand.
Yeah.
Now,
And all those dots got connected at the end,
exactly, right?
joining the
Now,
dots.
why did I, yeah, and all that I think
Right.
made me like, I think we have to, and all the people who have helped me don't need my help.
Oh,
Correct.
nice.
Now we have to pay it forward. That is the message. And that is how the organization started. Because we wanted to do something, because after I started my master's, and I also want to tell one thing. First, take care of your family.
Yeah.
Then take care of your extended, good people from your extended family. Then go into social service. When your house is not in order,
Yes.
you cannot go and serve others.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
So first thing is we did well. Then I had a few cousins that I had to help in education. That is something that we did. My parents gave us so much of autonomy. Like I think we never like my father for once did not say, "Hey, why are you not investing this money in property?" Because sometimes paying the fees took like 1 lakh.
Yeah.
At that time, that 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, if I had invested it in a property, that would be 1 crore today. But that is not the way I think I thought asset building was.
Yeah.
Because now think about it, right? The person whose education, that is a far more bigger investment than me buying asset land. Right?
Yeah.
So this is how the organization started, and it has been 9 years. So good things are happening. Of course, some great things are going to happen. But yeah, that is the requisite.
Yeah, great. You started an NGO that is serving to people and giving back to what you receive from your people in your past.
Correct.
Yeah, that is a great thing. Somewhere I think in a YouTube video or somewhere I heard this thing that the only way to live a happy life is you do these two things. Just forget whatever bad is done by others to you, and remember whatever good is done by others to you. And another thing, forget whatever good is done by you to others, and only remember the good thing that others have done to you. Yeah.
I would make one small correction there. Forgive. Don't
Forgive.
forget.
Okay.
If you forgive, but if you forget, then I think somebody else will come and do the same thing.
Yeah.
Correct. That is one thing I would say.
Yeah.
Like, for example, we can't forget British.
Yes.
Because we forget what Britishers did to India.
Yeah, that is
Somebody else
a
will come and invade us.
yeah, I keep it as a one quote of my life. I live by it. What is yours?
I think for me, yeah, I think that's a good question. I've never thought about it. I think for me, see, at the end of the day, right, I think I'm probably a bit philosophical, right? I think every human being's quest is enlightenment. For us, I think in Indian society, it is moksha. Eventually, you have to attain it. But how do you attain it? You first have to go through worldly means. And that is my philosophy, right? I think I'm no spiritual expert.
Yeah.
For me, at this point, is dedicate yourself to the purpose. Define your dharma and stand for your dharma. Right? My dharma at this point is mostly on like I think give the best students.
Give the best, yes.
Students to the country and best professionals to the country. So everything that I do, I want to make sure my energies are dedicated in it. So what I would tell is dharma its dharma is not like defined. It is consequential. For this context, whatever I have to do, I have to make sure I'm doing this with utmost sincerity. So if you today, I think if you ask me to clean this room, I will clean this with the same passion as that of anything else. Right? So that is my mantra, right? I think whatever I'm doing, I want to be 100% present in it.
Present in it.
I shouldn't be like now. I told you like I think this conversation right took like 6-7 days, but now that I have
in your mind is going
in
on.
my mind, I think like nothing else is going. Raju is the most important person on the planet for me. That's on earth. Wow. That's it. So if I can do that repeatedly, that is my mantra at this time.
Nice. So we have come so far. You joined Hackerrank, you served there. Then what led you to join Kalvium and what was that inspiration?
Yeah, I also joined Interview Kickstart.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot.
In between, right? So what happened? See, Hackerrank I was doing very well.
Yeah.
Right. I came to a point And I had great growth opportunities at
Yeah.
Hackerrank.
Yeah.
But I built a few things at
Hmm.
Hackerrank
Hmm.
where I did not know how to do it in the beginning.
Hmm.
Now, what happens is
Hmm.
correcting those things in the same organization is very difficult
Hmm.
because you have told a few things before.
Hmm.
Now you have to go back and tell a lot of different things.
Hmm.
But doing the same thing in a new organization is easy.
Hmm.
Correct. Whatever learnings I learned at Hackerrank,
Hmm.
that is true for many companies.
Yeah, that
The
is.
learnings in one company is easier to apply in the other company than that company.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that made me leave Hackerrank.
Yeah.
Right? And it was a great,
Hmm.
I think, it was not even leaving. Hackerrank, I still go to the office.
Hmm.
I still am as much a part of Microsoft
Huh.
and Ericsson as a Hackerrank as Interview Kickstart as much as Kalvium.
Nice.
Those are my companies. They were part of
Hmm.
my life. Right?
Hmm.
I've just resigned the job,
Yeah.
not the association. Interview Kickstart was that, right? Can I apply this to a wider field? So Interview
Yeah.
Kickstart gave me in Hackerrank, I was taking care of product and tech.
Hmm.
Interview Kickstart asked me to come and do it for everyone.
Hmm.
Like sales, marketing,
Hmm.
operations, everybody had to fit in this process. That
Hmm.
was a great initiative. So that made me come to Interview Kickstart.
Okay.
And then I think in 2 years in Interview Kickstart, what happened was I built a team.
Hmm.
And most of the work needed could have been taken care by the team. I hit that saturation.
Okay.
And then Kalvium is like, again, I think this is something which is
Mhm.
very, very close to my heart. And this was said, I was like, hey, this is, and then I went to my friend Sham.
Hmm.
Sham is, whatever I say, he asked me 10 questions.
Okay.
I went to Sham and said, hey, Sham, I think there is a thing like this called Kalvium and explained it.
Hmm.
His first question was, did you accept the offer?
Oh.
Right? That was a signal.
Ah.
That people were like, hey, this is something which is, you're very passionate about.
Yes. Yes.
And I knew that I think I did not have all the learnings for
Yeah.
Kalvium.
But still, the
But
passion is there.
yeah, my passion is there. I
Ah.
mean, see, I still feel one thing. Why I'm paid for doing this. Correct. That itself, I think every day I kind of get up and thank. I have all the gratitude because I'm being like, I think I'm able to make a living out of my most important passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. And then you also got into your healthy life and fitness. So when did it start? In 2017 or?
So yeah, I used to be very fit.
Huh.
I was a monkey in a way.
Okay.
So like I would, if I in my youth,
Hmm.
if I saw this table, I would never go like this. I would basically put my hand to a flip.
Wow.
So that was me.
Nice.
So whatever I saw, if I saw 3 steps, I jumped.
Nice.
I never took them.
Hmm.
So this is what I used to do.
Hmm.
So I was very active.
Hmm.
In 2008, I went to Seattle.
Seattle.
Seattle, I hit multiple allergies.
Nice.
My sinus went to a place where I had to be given steroids to take care of pain. So I took steroids for like 6 months.
Hmm.
My weight went from 64 to 91 in 1
Oh.
month. And I put that weight when I was 27. And from a person wearing short t-shirts, t-shirts, I went till XL.
Hmm.
And that kept on happening until I was 36.
Nice.
And I'm a little nut job that way, right? Like I kind of say things which are like a little
Yeah.
so tough, a little difficult to hear. One fine day, I'm weighing like, at that point, I was 87 kgs.
Hmm.
So winter is starting
Hmm.
in Seattle.
Hmm.
I say in next 2 months, I'm going to run a half marathon.
Okay.
And I don't stop that.
Ah.
Then I tell that I'm going to run this barefoot.
Oh.
I still don't know why I said those 2 sentences. Those were my health defining sentences.
Hmm.
And it worked for me, Raju. What happened was because winter was starting,
Hmm.
which meant, and I also had to run barefoot.
Hmm.
It is 3 degrees, 4 degrees.
Oh.
Okay. No, that was a blessing.
Ah.
If you stop running, you will freeze.
Yes.
So if you have to survive, you have to keep running.
running.
And I kept running.
Okay.
And I finished my first half marathon in 2016.
Yeah.
I have a wonderful medal.
Hmm.
I
Yeah, you accumulated a lot of medals also, no?
I have run 69 half marathons so far.
Okay.
I want to run 1,000 in my life,
Nice.
which means if I run a half marathon every 11 days
Hmm.
till I'm 70,
Ah.
I will achieve that.
Nice.
That is my goal.
And how much you are now?
69.
Okay.
69.
1 year only.
No.
No, I ask your age.
Oh, my age? Oh,
Ah.
sorry. I'm 41 years old.
41.
1981.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You're 69.
The 69 half marathons are done.
Ah.
And I want to do 1,000
Ah.
in my life. So that is my goal, fitness goal.
Okay, nice. And then you finished that, you came to India, you joined Kalvium. That is a great thing, and you also joined these marathons. So after doing all these things, what are your best three learnings of your life that you like to share with the viewers?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's little tough.
Uh,
First thing is always know that you have natural strengths and you have complementing natural weaknesses. It always comes as a package. That is number one. The test for you is how do you work on your weakness to protect your strengths.
Okay.
Everybody has strengths.
Yeah.
So there are complementing weaknesses as well.
Yeah.
So I want to run half marathons. I have wheezing. I have to carry a pump. So now I think it's about how do I overcome my asthma and run. Correct. So most of the things you have. You have great technical skills. Maybe your communication.
Yeah.
You might not be blessed with the best communication. So always remember that. That is number one thing. Number two is gratitude.
Gratitude.
Every small thing.
Yeah. Be grateful.
Be grateful. For example, in our class today, the person who is cleaning our class is contributing to our internship. So she has a role to play. Right? The person who comes and locks the door has a role to play. The person who is sitting somewhere in a call center and like looking at our attendance, they have a role to play. So this universe is like interconnected.
Yeah.
Something, if I pick this bottle, something else changes somewhere.
Yeah.
Correct? So remember that.
In my school also, we used to do a grateful prayer to God before having a lunch.
Correct. Right?
Yeah.
And number three is don't lose good people in life.
Quality people.
Yeah, don't lose good people
Yeah.
in life. Because if the worst thing to lose in life is trust.
Trust, yes.
Money is like the easiest thing to lose. You can earn it back. If trust is gone, then people will stop behaving like honestly with you. And if people are behaving in a way which is not honest, I think you have lost so much in life. Yeah, I think I can like think of these. But again, I've never thought about it, Raja.
Still, it's too much helpful for people. And there was a great philosopher in India called named Rahim. He also told that if a true relation with somebody is broken once, then it can never be stitched again. Even if it is, then there will be a knot in between.
Exactly. No, that is very true. I think if you lose trust, right, the greatest blessing in life is having people that you can trust.
Yeah. And your story looks like this person. Do you know Ankur Variku?
Yeah, I know him, but I think he's a great person, right?
Yeah, so he also started off like you only. He also had the same background, and he also struggled, and then he went to US. He came back, but that was a different case. And then he also had his weight as an issue, and he started running marathons. He got into fitness. Now he's doing great in his life. You also brought up from something very small. Now you have achieved so much, and you met a lot of people. You made a huge amount of connections. You're contributing to the society also. So that was a fantastic talk with you. Just last thing, what are you read a lot of books? So what are your three favorite books or three books that you'll suggest people to read?
Okay, let me answer it this way. Let's say if all my books were burnt and no book will be recreated again,
Yeah.
what are the three books I'll say?
Yeah.
Number one is Highest Output Management by Andy Grove.
Okay.
Andy Grove was the CEO of Intel.
Okay.
Andy Grove, hands down, is the best management guru in the world.
Okay.
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 So Highest Output Management, everybody can read it. It's a simple book, very layered. Every time you read it, right, it is like Akshay Patra. You read it once,
You get something
get
new.
something else. So Highest Output Management is something that I would recommend
Nice.
very much. My second book is a set of books, not one book. It is a book set called it's a book called Beautiful Tree.
Beautiful Tree.
It is by a person called Dharanpal.
Okay.
So when India got independence, Dharanpal went to UK and sat in the libraries and wrote lakhs of pages of material because he did not have money for a typewriter. And he came, his 30-40 years of hard work has been published in a set of books. I will also take the names of the books because it's very important.
Yeah.
The first book is called Beautiful Tree,
Beautiful
which
Tree.
talks about Indian education system, documented, proof-based, nothing which is a legend. Right? It's not like legend has it. It's all documented.
Okay.
Beautiful Tree talks about Indian education system. Then there is a book called Panchayat Raj System. which talks about how India had democracy 2000 years ago. Then there is a book called Civil Disobedience Movement. Then there is a bit of essays. Then there is a phenomenal book called 18th Century Indian Technology and Science.
Okay.
So he has written about these 5 things: science and technology, Indian education system, civil disobedience movement, Panchayat Raj, and an essay.
Nice.
So
So you read all of this?
I have read 30-40% of it. I've read most of the Beautiful Tree because I'm interested in education. Science, I'm a little
Yeah.
but I've given at least 70-80 copies of these books
To people.
to people.
Nice.
And I would like to, if you are okay, I think I would probably ship a copy of this book for this interaction.
Okay.
I'll send it. So that is the second set.
Yeah.
Third book is a little difficult. I think I have so many books that I read. But a book that really changed my life is The India Way.
India Way.
The India Way is a book written by Mr. S. Jaishankar.
Okay.
Our Minister
Foreign Affairs.
His book. Phenomenal book.
Okay.
Because he talks about how Mahabharata can be integrated into our administration.
Mm.
It's a very today's book, which has a lot of India embedded into it. So I will save these 3 books.
Okay.
Because I know these are the 3 books I will read at least 10 more times in my life.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
But there are many books. I can share the link, but this was the toughest question of the talk.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. But still, that was a beautiful conversation. Thanks for joining. I hope viewers also enjoy it. So thanks for this video. Just give your precious feedback in the comment section, and what else you need from Dhananjay for the next video. So this was about your personal life. Probably you can do a next video, a small related to your professional life or something.
Sure.
And yeah, wrapping this up, what is your final, if there is a final advice for you to give to the young generation who is watching this video, what will it be?
Prioritize the country.
Country.
India is not
Nation.
fully back on its toes.
Yeah.
So a percentage of your life has to be dedicated for the country.
Yes.
Because you need to give it to what your previous generation gave to you.
Yeah.
You need to give a part of it to the next generation.
Next generation
So
also.
don't be very self-centered and just only take care of yourself.
Yeah.
But do take care of at least 5 other people
5 other.
who can come up. And that will make us the number 1 country.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that was a great. Thanks. So thanks for joining it. And yeah, we'll do a second episode probably somewhere.
Definitely. But thanks a lot for the experience.
Yeah, thanks for watching, and please share your feedback in the comments. That was it. Bye bye. We'll see you in the next video.